I forgot to record the first part, but I figured I should probably record number 2 for Kayam because he's gone. So. Alright, so has everybody got number 1 written down? Niles, why do you not have number 1 written down?
Oh, because it's like too much to write.
No. This is how much you have to write for every problem on your quiz.
Yeah.
So write it down. This is the first 4 points of your quiz.
Wait,
Well, then go sharpen your pencil or trade it out with one that's already sharpened. You got that written down, Ethan? Okay. Each question's worth 4 points, so 32 total. Yep. What do you mean? It'd be fine. It'd be fine. Okay, so let's look at number 2. So number 2, we're given the system 4x plus 3 and y equals negative x minus 2. So we need to make 2 tables of values. That's your first step on every problem, is to make 2 table of values. In this case, we don't have fractions, so we can use whatever x's we want. So 1, 2, 3. We can use 1, 2, 3. That doesn't matter. So 1, 2, and 3. So if I use 1, 2, and 3, if I plug in 1, 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay, if I plug in 2, 4 times 2 is 8 plus 3 is no 11. 8 plus 3 is 11. If I plug in 3, 4 times 3 is
14 times 3.
4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. So for my first graph, I'm going over 1, up 7. You guys are going to have to estimate, because I know that's not on your graph, but you're going to have to estimate. Over 2, up 11, and over 3, up 15. If you want to live...
Can we go by 5?
Yeah, you can go by 5s. That'll make it easier. I'm not going to on mine, because I'm just not. Alright, so there's my first graph. It's not perfectly straight, but it'll work.
Wait. Sorry. How much I just want to make us go up?
Just do the first 2. Just do 2.
Put it in. Like up to you.
As long as you have it kind of straight line. Yes, that'll work. Okay. And for our second graph, we're given negative x minus 2. So if I plug in 1, negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. If I plug in 2, negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. If I plug in 3, I get negative 5. So over 1, down 3. Over 2, down 4. Over 3, down 5.
So it's 0, 0.
So if I connect that point, that line, it crosses, it just crosses. It's kind of hard to see on my graph because I didn't draw perfectly straight lines, which is why you guys use the rulers. But I cross at about this point right there. Okay, so if you drew your accurate graph, you should cross at a point right there. So if I go to find that point, I need to figure out how much I go back and how much I go down to get to my first point. So how many do I go back on my x-axis? -1. And how many do I go down? -1. So I know that that's kind of hard to see. Yeah, if they don't cross, then you have to draw longer lines until they cross. So 1, 7, 6, 7. That'd probably be about right. And 2, 11, and 3. That kind of helps, if that helps. It's just that because we were estimating, sometimes you can estimate kind of off sometimes, and even just a little bit off on your graph, then it'll throw your answer way off. Alright, so you guys are going to be doing this on those 8 questions. Now 1 and 2 are done for you, so everybody should get 1 and 2 correct. For the rest of them, 3 through 8, you need to make 2 tables of values. You need to graph your lines, and you need to find your solution. Do we have any questions on what we need to do on 3 through 8?
Yeah, like, how do you do this? Expression.
Use numbers that match your denominators. So we used like 3 and 6 and 0. Those match our denominators. So here, our biggest denominator is 4. So in this one, you're going to use numbers that match 4. So like 0, 4, and 8.
Okay, so like, how do you
You multiply by the top, and then you divide by the bottom. So if we use 3, 3 times 5 is 15 divided by 3 is 15 divided by 3 is
5.
5, and so it's -5 plus 3, so that's how we got -2. Okay.